Ashland, Ohio, touring comedian. Only thing I got to say that it's a good thing we're 1,000 feet from a school. Here he is, Keith Tozer.
That's why you never make fun of a host before he gets up. I need someone that has a beat. You, sir, what's your name with the bingo shirt on?
Jake.
Jake, come here a second. I volunteered you.
Let's go, Jake.
Can you go? Have you ever seen Drop the Mic? Can you go? Pump, 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 pump. Just do the best you can. No, don't sit down. Man, you must be a college kid. That's lazy. There. If you got the weed, pass it along, please. Now, just do the best impression you got of pump. Just kind of help me out there. Thank you. Now, there's a reason I wanted to do that. A while back, I auditioned for a male stripper. They said no. I don't think it was because of my dance moves. I'm going to use their exact words. They said your profile didn't match our description of a male stripper. Oh, man. Let's see. Also, now, I was told I would mostly keep this a little bit family. Now, growing up, I had one of those families, I come from one of those families that Al Bundy would call white trash. Now, I like to pay a tribute to one of my favorite comedians. When I started doing comedy 5 years ago, it was one of my mother's favorite comedians. You know, is anyone familiar with Red Skeleton? Anyone at all? This is my joke, and I want to do it in the style of Red Skeleton. And I'm going to do all the bits, the announcer voice, the miming, and even the woman part. My wife says I'm pretty good at that. Guess you know who wears the pants in that home. And this is my impression of an average Joe. He's in the gym. I'm glad there's grass back there. So, this is my impression of an average Joe. He's in the gym. He's trying to impress, you know, the ladies. He has a little bit of weights and then he's working out. Now in walks a pretty lady. This is the pretty lady. Hello everybody. Hi. Now, this average Joe, he sees this pretty lady over there. He's looking at her and he's thinking, man, I gotta impress her. So now he's putting on all the weights. Oh. And she walks out the door. Oh, let's see. Where do I want to go from here? Oh. Lego pirate ships. Do you guys remember Lego pirate ships? Remember those big Lego pirate ships back in the day? That took me out of breath. Excuse me a second. The Lego pirate ships. My brother always wanted one. And he was at Tozer us. And he goes to my mom and he goes, Mommy, 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 I want that Lego pirate ship. I want that Lego pirate ship. She was like, talk to your father, honey. Talk to your father. So he runs over to his dad. Daddy, Daddy, I want that Lego pirate ship. I want that Lego pirate ship. My father said, if you want that Lego pirate ship, you're going to have to get a job and earn it. My mother said, if you... That's a horrible thing to say to an 18-year-old. Oh, I was a preacher before I was a comedian. True story, an independent fundamental Baptist preacher. That means I learned how to insult from the best of them. That's one good thing I get out of Bible college. So I'm not going to do a lot of, church jokes, but this one. In the Bible, it mentions it's better to dwell in the corner of a housetop than with the brawling woman in a White House. I don't know much about the author of that proverb. Neither does the commentaries. But from personal experience of being married 18 years, I can tell you his wife was going through the change of life. He was experienced at hiding in that corner. Because there's times I'm at home and I go to my office and and I barricade the door and I'm like, please Jesus, if you just help my wife, help her get through this. For the love of God, I promise to give up the hardcore porn. Please, I promise just to watch regular porn, Jesus. Please, I promise. I tried. But speaking of change of life, she really is going through the change of life. And when she started to change of life, I started writing a horror novel at the same time. But I fear I may not be able to finish the book. Do you know why? Because my wife gives me looks like that, which makes me rethink my food when she serves it to me. So I always give it to the Doberman. The Doberman lives. I know it's safe to eat. I love you, baby. But going through the change of life, and as a man, no one really talks about the other side of the coin, do they? It's hard for a man because we have to be super patient, don't we? We have to play golf. We have to go to my grandfather, I'll tell you this story. My grandfather joined Westport Country Club and became a semi-pro golfer over the years just to get away from my grandmother when she was going through it. So you find your hobbies. It's okay. And anything that, so you don't be like, shut the hell up! Just shut the hell up! You don't want to say that to that woman like that. Especially if you have guns in your home, she will kill me. She will kill me in my sleep. Or I might wake up with something missing. But then I'll be transgender. I might get more rights. So, I've learned to be very careful on what I say to my wife, and I love her very much. And I'll tell you 5 instances where I failed to watch what I said to her. We got this Doberman. Now, you like Dobermans? You like dogs? Our Doberman stands this tall. He's anything but a baby. But my wife, God bless her soul, she has this Doberman, and she's always saying, there's my baby boy. There, this is my baby boy. Oh, and I was trying to work on my material, and I just got so sick of it, and I was like, I lost it. I got mad. It happens, right? I was like, will you shut the hell up? Just please shut the hell up. You don't want to say that to a woman like that, I'm telling you. She's like, now what I do? What I do now? What I do? I didn't do anything to upset you. I said, honey, if that Doberman is your baby, I'm calling Murray, because there's no way in hell I'm the father. She said, you know what? Why don't you just go to hell? I said, I've been there for 18 years, baby. There ain't no reprieve. For instance, another instance, I was in church, true story. And you guys familiar with church and song hymnals? Anybody like, there's a fountain flowing deep and wide. You know those old song hymnals? Well, she had that, we were in church and we were singing that song, and I looked at my wife and I go, honey, guess what? She's like, what? What do you want now? She said, just like that. What do you want now? As I'm starting to understand the love of God. She's like, what do you mean? I said, it's much like your mother's stomach. Deep and wide, there's a river. Oh. Also, my wife was crying one day and I drive cab part-time for extra cash. There's nothing wrong with having a side job, especially if it's under the table. Tips are nice. Now, I came home from work, my wife, she's looking at me, and she's crying, she's making my sandwiches, she's going, I have no idea why she's crying. Now at this point, I'm scared. And I know if I say the wrong thing, there might be a homicide. I'll be a statistic. You feel me on that, right? So I go up to my wife, and I'm massaging her neck like this, and I'm kissing on her neck, blowing on her neck, kissed her ear just right, you know what I mean? And I whispered this into her ear. I go, honey, please don't cry in my sandwich. Let me tell you, the Doberman got to eat, fed the sandwich, and I got fed the plate. Oh, I took my wife golfing. I'm a golfer, my wife's not. My wife went golfing one time, and she's doing her thing, which, let me show you. My wife's doing her thing. She's lining up. She's hitting the grass. She's hitting the air. She's hitting everything but that small round object. And my wife just yelled out, why the hell do you play golf? What is so special about this game? She said, I cannot hit a little round object. I said, honey, that's why we don't have kids. She said, we'd have kids if you supersize your package. Oh, let's see. Then there was that other instance. Now, I don't mind watching TV, right? There's a lot of good shows. Now, this being a white crowd, I know you guys seen these shows. White people go into the jungle, they explore and search for gold. It's a Republican thing. So as they're searching for gold, they always disappear. Almost no one comes back, am I right? You do not see one black man in the jungle. The Indians and Mexicans turn around, they're like, oh, see that statue? No, they disappear. But what did the white people do? They travel on. So I asked my wife, I said, honey, if I was stupid enough to go in the jungle and look for gold, and I got eaten by cannibals, would you feel bad? Her words were exactly as this. She says, yes, but only for the cannibals, because you probably leave a sour taste in their mouth too. Now, I want to talk about a story. You all know that new movie It came out, right? The remake of the original? Yep. It brought up my fear of clowns. Anyone else have a fear of clowns in here? You get what I'm saying here then. When I was a kid, I got lost at the carnival. My parents literally left me. I didn't know what to do. And now there's this little midget clown called Sprinkles. Now Sprinkles literally look like a little ice cream sundae. You can't make this up. There was a 6'9" clown. He was called Twinkle Toes. Now Twinkle Toes ran like this. So, as a kid, I'm running away from him, yelling, stranger danger! Stranger danger! Nobody helps. That's why I wear a whistle around my neck. Because no one hears hollering. Ever since that day. But here's the thing. Now, you judge me on that. But it's a horrible thing for a 16-year-old to be on their own at a carnival being chased by two clowns. Now, growing up, my granddad, he was old school. We used to hang out at a bar in Mansfield called a Circus Bar. Does anyone remember that bar? And it was a really fun place. And so my granddad and my uncles and my cousins, they used to say female clowns tasted funny. So when I came of age, I decided to test that theory. Now, when I was about 18, 19, I went up to a female clown, and I have no idea why they smacked me, yet alone they could hit that hard. All I did was, would you like to know what I did? I went up to her and very politely said, "Excuse me, ma'am. My grandfather said you guys tasted funny. May I have a lick?" Who knew? Who knew? My nose was broke. I'm just saying. I had no idea that was going to happen. Did you see that coming? She had no smiles on her face, let me tell you. And I never got to find out what my grandfather was saying. That's the downside. Oh. Now, recently I was in a car accident. My bumper has duct tape all over the corner of the bumper. And on the way here, true story, I pulled into a gas station. And I asked it, and as I was pumping my gas, this guy came over and goes, "Why do you have duct tape on the corner of your bumper?" So I got sarcastic. I'm a comedian, right? I said, "Well, that's what usually happens when you run into a 600-pound person." He was like, "Well, what about the person you hit?" I said, "Fuck the person. My Monte Carlo bounced off of them. What about my car?" Sorry for using the language, folks. Old habits die hard. Now, also now, I get in trouble everywhere I go. Maybe it's because I'm sarcastic by nature. You know, maybe it was just the way I was raised, it's my breeding. I don't know. Maybe I'm just an asshole by nature. But a likable one, I hope. So, I was at a neighborhood watch meeting. Are you familiar with neighborhood watch meetings? Okay, I was at a neighborhood watch meeting, and this old guy was complaining about there's hookers standing at his corner in front of his house. And being a comedian, I'm like, oh, jeez, here we go. I gotta sit here and listen to this crap. So I just blurted it out. No filter at all. I'm working on my filter, but I'm not a cigarette, so it burns out. So I shot it out. "Have you tried not paying them?" How the hell was I supposed to know that was a judge? I got uninvited to a neighborhood watch meeting. Barred from all neighborhood watch meetings. Who knew? I don't think I'm missing much. Because earlier during that meeting, a guy literally complained, and you can't make this stuff up. An old couple complained. He brought out a yardstick with a picture. He said the neighbor dog craps 12 inches into my yard. And he showed a picture, an actual Polaroid picture of his ruler, and the dog crap in the yard property. You can't make this up. I was like, why don't you just kick it back in this other yard? Just kick it. It works. The police officer told me to shut up. Yeah, so I get in trouble a lot. Now, this being a golf thing, and I love golf. I haven't really played that much in years. Now, this is a cheaper golfing club, but it's one of my favorites. I think I only paid $60 for it at the time, 4 or 5 years ago. And I love this club. I get a lot of driving range and a lot of distance on this. Ladies never complain. But that being said, I love golf. Now, these are some things, this is okay to do in a golf course. Ma'am, would you assist me stand up a second? What's your name? Melinda? That's a lovely name. You look very nice. Would you hold this mic a second? Now, this is okay to do at a golf club or here. Thank you. Now hold on, stay right there, I'm not done. But you don't want to do it in a gay bar. Let me explain. Because as you try to make it to the front door, it gets really painful. Anal ease does not help, let me tell you. My buddy, he's an avid golfer. He's a semi-pro golfer. Tried out for the PGA Tour, even made it one year. And he was telling me he once brought a call girl to his house. He literally told me her fairway was so wide, he decided to get out his three iron, drop a couple of balls on the ground, and I need an assistant. Sir, would you stand up? What's your name? Chris? Thank you for your assistance. I'm not complimenting you. I don't like men that way. You're welcome. If that offends you, I'm not sorry. Hold the mic for me, thank you. So as he gets out his 3 iron just like this, he drops a couple of balls, and he yells, 4! He never saw those balls again. Now, do you notice this golf club has a cover on his head? Do you see this? How many of you young men in this room are single right now? How many men are single in this room right now? Well, you'll always be single. Have you seen yourself? Well, don't try to be me. There's only one me. No one can be as good looking as me. Now, for those who are single, if there's anybody young listening, I want you to think about this. Always keep your head of your shaft covered. Otherwise, you have nothing to play with in the future. You'll be just like my friend. Oh. Now, I like to point this out. Now, me and my wife, we've been married 18 years. I've already pointed that out, correct? Off and on, I've been unfaithful. I'll admit it. There was times we were open marriage and this and that. It's one of those screwed up marriages, but you love each other, so you stay together. You know what I mean? No. You're perfect. Most females think they are. It's okay. So I was at a bar, and no man should ever see this in my lifetime. Okay, gentlemen? Nobody should ever experience this in their lifetime. I found out recently after picking up a man in the bar, I screwed up the joke, but I didn't know it was a man at first. I thought it was a female. I found out that most female had longer shafts than me in this day and age, and that scares me. So I stopped cheating on my wife. Lesson learned. Now, I like to talk about something. I got 2 more jokes left. I like to talk about something called population control. Do we have any liberals here? Be honest. Raise your hand. Any liberals? Raise your hand. Don't nod. Okay. Now, a lot of liberals talk about population control. Am I right? Well, Japan, thanks to Japan, we actually have that now. They make sex bots. And in November, I think, November or December, don't quote me on that, I gotta look back up. December? Well, this gentleman knows, he must have ordered one. These sex bots, you can order them here in the U.S. And not only are they fit, like if you order a woman, it's fit to the size of your penis. It truly is, it's fit. And to the women, they make sex bots too, with their men, and they make it to the size of your vagina. True story. And they learn as you grow, and for sexual stimulation. So I started thinking, that's the answer to population control. They figured it out. So, and this also makes the perfect gift for the guy or that girl in your life that has trouble getting a date or getting laid. Buy them a sex bot. A lot of research, and my wife won't let me order one. But can I borrow yours? I'll set it off and have it custom cleaned. But so they form and everything for better stimulation. Now that's the perfect gift you want to buy someone. Okay? If they can't get a date, that's what you want. Am I right? This guy will always be happy. They don't have to go to bars, pick up things, pick up other dates. They don't have to worry about getting laid. The answer's right there. population control. Not to mention, they make great stocking stuffers. When you catch up to that one. I'm going to close with this. Or now, how many of you are familiar with, there's a song from my childhood. There's a song from my childhood. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. You guys familiar with that? You guys familiar with that? So as you're doing this, think of this song. As a comedian, I've only heard that one verse. As a comedian, I looked up the rest of the verse. I finally figured out what she was doing, why it took so long for her to get around that mountain. No, it's not a bestiality thing. She was chasing 6 white horses, but she finally found a black shaft. I'm Keith Tozer. Have a good night.